Pixel 6 versus Pixel 7. Is it worth the upgrade? The Google Pixel 7 and 7 Pro were finally released in October 2022 and are now for sale. However, if you purchased a Google Pixel 6 last year, one of the best smartphones available, you may be wondering if the upgrade is actually worthwhile. After all, both phones appear and feel very similar on the outside. To see how they compare, watch our video to learn what the Pixel 7 actually brings to the table when compared to its predecessor. Here we begin. Design and build quality. If you're familiar with the Pixel 6 design and like how it looks, it's safe to assume you'll like the Pixel 7. Of course, they aren't cut from the same cloth, but there are many similarities between the two phones. In keeping with Google's visor design language, the Pixel 7 has a camera bar on the back to house the cameras. The camera bar stretches horizontally from one side to the other, but is now covered in matte aluminum that bends with the phone's blind aluminum side rails. Google has abandoned the Pixel 6's dual-tone design in favor of a more clean and uniform appearance. That's okay, because the Pixel 7 comes in 3 great colors, each with a contrasting finish on the camera bar. The Pixel 6's overall design is similar to the previous generation model, so if you've been using a Pixel 6, you'll feel right at home. In fact, because the Pixel 6 is a hair shorter and thinner than the Pixel 6, it may be more comfortable to hold. It weighs a few less grams than the Pixel 6, so you won't find it as heavy even when using one of the best cases. The Pixel 7's display is also smaller than that of its predecessor. This year, we're expecting a 6.3-inch OLED panel inside the Pixel 6's 6.4-inch OLED panel. And you can see, the size difference is very small, so even if you compare them side by side, you won't notice much of a difference. Furthermore, both displays are Full HD+, and the refresh rate tops out at 90 Hz. Both panels also have the same Gorilla Glass Victus protection, making them equally durable. However, Google claims that the Pixel 7's display is up to 25% brighter, meaning it will look better on the outside, especially in direct sunlight. Screen and sound. The Pixel 7 screen is slightly smarter than the Pixel 6's, a 6.3-inch to 6.4-inch screen. But the resolution remains at 2400 by 1080, as does the refresh rate of 90 Hz. The most significant improvement is in brightness, with the new phone promising 1000 nits for HDR playback and 1400 nits peak, a 25% increase over the previous model. The Pixel 7 Pro has even fewer changes. The screen size remains 6.7 inches, the resolution remains 3120 by 1440, and it continues to use an LTPO AMOLED panel with an adaptive refresh rate of up to 120 Hz. However, brightness does rise even higher, with a peak of 1500 nits promised. All 4 Pixel models have an always-on display option and use Gorilla Glass Victus, so they should be equally scratch and scrape resistant. Camera. The camera hardware on the back of the Pixel 7 and Pixel 6 is the same. A 50-megapixel wide standard camera is paired with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera, which Google does regularly. The camera prefers to stick with the same hardware setup for multiple generations, focusing instead on improving the surrounding software and algorithms to get even more out of it. This is precisely what Google does with the Pixel 7. The Pixel 7 provides much faster night photography while maintaining the same quality. The Pixel 7 almost always took twice as long to capture the same shot at night in our testing. However, the Pixel 7 goes beyond just fast capture times. It includes a new Max Night mode that allows you to capture even more light for a better image in the dark. You can also easily disable night mode entirely if you prefer. That's ideal for shooting fast-moving subjects or objects where time is critical. Super Res Zoom. Google's computational supported digital zoom has been improved. When you zoom in by 2 times on the Pixel 7, the phone now uses all pixels in the exact area of the sensor to provide a more accurate and detailed image. The Pixel 6 simply cropped in with a regular pixel binning in place for the 50-megapixel camera, resulting in fewer details. Despite the fact that both phones use the same hardware, the difference is stunning, especially in portrait shots. Photo on Blur is another piece of software to look forward to. This feature enables Pixel 7 owners to improve any of their photos in their library using a new algorithm that removes motion blur and other fuzzy effects from shots. It works surprisingly well on photos in good lighting that don't have major flaws, but it could look better if people were in focus. While Google hasn't confirmed it, we expect this feature to make its way to older phones as well. Performance. The Pixel 7 was the first smartphone to use Google's Tensor Silicon chipset. This was a significant step forward for the manufacturer, signaling a departure from Qualcomm's Silicon, and the results have been generally positive. It supports 5G connectivity and runs high-end games, but the real highlight is all of the behind-the-scenes magic it employs to help the camera perform at its best. Similarly, the Tensor G2 remains competitive but is not a mind-blowingly fast chip. However, it certainly does the job, and the pleasing camera software tricks are still present, and we believe that the majority of users will be satisfied with its capabilities. Both devices' software is pleasingly minimalist interpretations of Android, with useful tools like Live Translate and Magic Eraser for the extra bit of utility over regular Android counterparts. Battery. In an odd turn of events, the Pixel 7's battery capacity is slightly lower than the predecessors, with 4300 MHz rather than 4600 MHz. However, we have yet to notice a significant decrease. The two got us through a heavy day of usage, which is exactly what we wanted. The fast charging could be better than we'd like, because there's no charger included in the box, so you will need to purchase or reuse a 30-watt brick to get the most out of it. The best time is just over an hour, which is slow by many other smartphone standards these days. Finally, there is no significant performance difference between these two phones in terms of battery life and charging. Both are adequate rather than exceptional in these two areas. Price and availability. Google's new Pixel 7 smartphone costs $600, the same price as the Pixel 6 when it was first released. Despite improvements in inflation, it is commendable that Google has managed to keep the same $600 price tag this year. The Pixel 7 is available from all major retailers and carriers in the United States. The smartphone is also available in more countries around the world, making it more accessible than the previous model. Google no longer sells the Pixel 6, but is still available from select retailers at a reduced price. Final words. The Google Pixel 7 is an excellent value for the price. Pure Google Android, improved Google Assistant features, new camera upgrades for better zoom and deblurring, and that's all there is to it. It's not a small list. The Pixel formula is improving over time. But if you're in a market for a new Pixel phone, we say go for the Pixel 7. If you already own a Pixel 6 though, you should probably wait for the reviews and not bother upgrading just yet. Or just wait for the Pixel 8. Either way, it seems for now you'll be just fine. So what do you think about both the phones by Google? Which one would you prefer? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Take care.